To the news at all over the past 72 hours, you've likely heard that the National Association of Realtors has proposed a settlement based upon a lawsuit that was brought quite some time ago regarding price fixing, and that is to say, price fixing of commissions. Um, and for those who have been keeping up on it, at least hearing what the news is saying, you need to know a couple of things. There's a lot of noise out right now in the media about this. That's just flat out not correct information. And so, for those who have worked with me, I am overly protective that my clients be well educated, committed to that, and that they be informed as much as I can possibly inform them. To some extent, some people get sick of hearing from me about certain things, and they're like, "Okay, Suzanne, I've heard enough." But I think it's more important that the public at large know really what this settlement means. It does not mean the end of commissions. I took a good part of this weekend listening to webinars, podcasts, experts in the field, reading up about what so far has been determined by this agreed to. Well, let me first of all say that the court has not agreed to the settlement yet. Do I think they will? Speaking as a lawyer, yeah, I do. I think it'll get agreed to, but by the court. But overall, let me give you what I think is truly behind the settlement. Number one, all buyers or all agents will now need to have what's called a buyer agency agreement with their buyers. If you've ever worked with me, you already know I have that. That's something I've always had all of my buyers read and know that I represent them as their buyer's agent. As a matter of fact, our MLS, our multiple listing service, and our Kansas City Regional Association of Realtors, that's always been a required form. My guess is that a lot of other states did not have what are known as buyer agency agreements, where it specifically states I represent the buyer and I don't represent the seller, or however the form reads. But ours, as you know, if you've worked with me, I specifically indicate that I work with a buyer as a buyer's agent. So that's number one on the agreement or the proposed agreement. Number two will be that commission rates offered will not be publicized on the MLS any longer. So, what we've done in the past is if I have a listing and the seller is paying a commission to their seller's agent, to me, in addition to a commission to the buyer's agent, that buyer's agent or that commission will no longer be publicized in MLS. That doesn't mean, though, that the seller can't offer the commission. So, what does that really mean, Suzanne? Seller can't offer the commission. Do I have to pay it as a seller? No, you've never had to pay a commission as a seller. So, the headlines that say the 6% commission is gone or this commission is gone is not accurate. Commissions have always been negotiable. You can offer a 7% commission, a 10% commission, 100%. Of course, you know I'm being silly. So that's always been negotiable. So, number one, that headline and that media frenzy is absolutely incorrect. What's going to change, though, and I'm really kind of excited about this, is it's going to start to eliminate hobbyist agents from those who are experienced good agents. What do I mean by that? That is to say, if you are going to charge a commission to a buyer to represent them now, and the seller's not going to offer to pay a commission, it's going to be called a concession now. My understanding is that it's possible the buyer will have to pay for representation. Do I think that's going to happen? I do think there will be circumstances where that will occur, where there will be a home that a buyer might be very interested in, and that seller's not willing to offer now what's called concessions. But I think overall, to be competitive as a seller, to have good representation, I think we're still going to see sellers paying commission. So I don't think it's the end of real estate agents. But I do think, and I think this is great, I think you as a real estate agent or real estate agents are now going to have to show their worth. It's going to become a skill-based business, which I am totally for. The days of hobbyist agents who sell one, two, three, or four homes a year, who don't really know the market, don't really know the knowledge of negotiation and skills in representing their clients, is going to become the forefront of real estate. And I think I applaud that. But there's a lot of changes that are going to be coming forward. It doesn't take effect until July. So, still a lot of changes in the marketplace. And I'll keep an eye out and continue to listen and update myself on this. But I think the overall effect will be welcomed. It'll just be a learning process that, in representing buyers, to educate them on what your representation's worth. Doesn't mean the buyer's going to pay for representation, but it is a discussion that you're going to have if you're in the market to buy. If you're in the market to sell, it's going to be a discussion you're going to have with your listing agent or your selling agent to determine what are the qualities that your agent brings to you. What's the worth? What's the value? What's the value in offering concessions for buyers agents to have representation? There's a lot of nuances, pluses and minuses, and I'm going to explore those with you over time so that you can make good decisions if and when you're ever ready to buy or sell. But the purpose of this long, sorry about that, video is to educate you, my clients, the public, that what you're hearing in the headlines is not absolutely correct. So be mindful. There's a lot of noise out there right now. And if you have questions or concerns at this point, please call me, please text me, please email me. Don't just try to go by what's in the headlines. And then I'll continue to keep you updated as this continues to evolve and move forward.